First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Yahweh is who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahushai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Ba'ashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Kodash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Today's lesson, I wanted to go back to the basics and go into what does it mean to love God. Okay, because you have these people in the world that love to throw out that saying, I love God, I love the Most High, right? But they're saying that with no substance behind it, right? They're saying it just to say it. Okay, when you look at what they're doing in their personal lives, it's nothing but wickedness, okay? Nothing but debauchery, living a life according to the flesh. So, what does it mean to love God, right? First scripture, or pretty much with just this scripture, you can knock it out the park. This summarizes the whole entire video. So let's start at verse 1. It says, 1 John chapter 5 and verse 1, Whosoever believeth that Yahushai is the Christ is born of God, and everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God, and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Right? So, it tells you clearly what it means to love the Most High. Right? The love of the Most High is to keep his commandments. Okay, it's that simple. Right? And what commandments is he talking about? He's talking about the ones in the Old Testament. Right? Given to the children of Israel. This is Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 46. It says, These are the statutes and judgments and laws which Yahweh made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. Okay, and these are the commandments that today, okay, we're supposed to keep to the best of our ability. Right? We're not going to get it perfect. That's what Yahushua is there for. Okay, so we're at whatever laws we break, we sin, wherever we sin, Yahushua is there to cover us. Okay, so the point is you keep the commandments to the best of your ability. Okay, so going back to 1 John, let's read it again. 1 John chapter 4, or chapter 3, chapter 5, and verse 3 says, For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Right? His commandments are not difficult. Okay, it's not difficult to stop eating pork. It's not difficult to stop eating shrimp, crab, lobster. Okay? That's not a difficult thing to do. Right? His commandments are not grievous. And let's see what that word grievous actually means. Grievous. Very severe or serious. Okay? Grave, bad. Let's find the etymology online and throw that word in there. Grievous. And this website goes into pretty much like the origin of the word. Maybe if I can spell it correctly. Grievous. Grievous. It says grievous. From Anglo-French grievous, heavy, large, weighty, hard, difficult. Okay, so his commandments are not difficult to teach. Okay, it's not difficult to stop committing adultery, right? It's not difficult to stop smoking weed, okay? And there's a flip side to that. Of course, we're in the flesh and there's trials and tribulations. For some brothers, it might have been hard to put down that blunt, man. It might have been hard to put down getting with another nigga's man, or another nigga's man. That sounds crazy. Hey, there's some people that were into that lifestyle, right? There's some jakes that were into homosexuality, right? And they repented from that lifestyle and now are living holy. Okay, so hey, it's difficult, but at the end of the day, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he said that any test, tribulation he puts upon us, and we can pass it. So let me actually pull that scripture. It's been a while since I pulled that. It's in Corinthians. right? 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13, it says, "There hath no temptation taken you but such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it." Right? So whatever temptation he puts upon us, okay, he's going to put one that we're able to bear. And he's going to always give us an escape route. So I just wanted to point that out. But at the end of the day, his commandments are not grievous. Right? Every single commandment that's on there is actually for our benefit. It's supposed to make our lives better and more righteous. So let's get John 14, same point, in another chapter. John 14 and verse 15, it says, in the red letter, "If you love me, keep my commandments." Okay, straight to the point. Okay, and Yahawashi, another thing, a lot of people believe, or the church believes, that Yahawashi came to take us away from the laws. Okay, he came to destroy the old covenant, the Old Testament, and all that, and that we don't gotta keep the laws no more. That's a whole lot of bullshit, man. Okay, those are false teachers, false Christ, leading you astray. We're supposed to keep the commandments. Right? What do you think the scriptures were talking about when we're supposed to be in the image of Yahawashi? We're supposed to be like Yahawashi. Right? What was Yahawashi? He was sinless. He kept all the commandments. So if we're being told that we're supposed to be like him, it means you're supposed to strive for perfection, which equals keeping the commandments the best you can. Okay? And at the end of the day, faith is what's going to save us. Right? You got to throw that in there. Right? Faith is what's going to save us. But faith without works is dead. So having faith in Yahawashi, keeping the commandments, that's how you're going to make it out of here, man. That's how you're going to escape this second destruction by the way of nuclear missiles. But this is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. It says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill." Okay, Yahawashi didn't come to destroy the commandments. Okay, the law, the prophets. He came to fulfill. Okay, fulfill the prophecies of his coming. That's what he came to do. It says, "For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled." Okay, and everything hasn't been fulfilled yet. Okay, Yahawashi is yet to come a second time. So that's another cut. It says, "Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven." Right? We have a lot of people nowadays that are teaching the world break his commandments. So we know their outcome. Right? False prophets. Okay, it says, and ultimately the Lord has them in a trick bag. It says that the deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, the Lord has these niggas going to these false pastors. And the Lord has these false pastors teaching these niggas. Right? It's the ultimate movie. Right? In order to have a movie, you need a good guy and a bad guy. Okay, and the Lord is the director behind the scenes with the script, writing the script. So, that was straight to the point. That's a cut right there. But let's get John chapter 14 and verse 21. It says, "He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me." Right? "And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him. I will manifest myself to him." So another one straight to the point. "He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me." That is the love of God, is to keep the commandments. Okay? Let's get another one. Romans chapter 3. Okay, because a lot of people get caught in that web of, oh, we're going to be saved by faith. We're under grace. Let's see what the scriptures say. Romans chapter 3 and verse 30, it says, "Seeing it is one God, which shall justify the circumcision by faith, and uncircumcision through faith, do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yea, we establish the law." So, what Paul is saying, just because we're going to be saved by faith doesn't mean you forget the law. Right? You can completely make it void. You destroy it. No, we still establish it. We still follow it, because that is righteousness. Just because we're going to be saved by faith doesn't mean you forget the law. Still keep it. Right? And Romans chapter 6 and verse 1 further goes into it. It says, "What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Right? And hey, what is sin? Let's pull that for those that don't know. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. It says, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Okay, straight to the point. Sinning is breaking the commandments that were given to the Israelites by the hand of Moses. Okay, that is sinning, is breaking those commandments. So if the Lord is telling you stop sinning, what does it imply? You keep the commandments. And what do we read in Romans 6 and verse 1? What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Right, so just because there's grace right now and Yahushua is covering us, doesn't mean that we use that as a cloak of maliciousness. Okay, it doesn't mean that we abuse his covering. Right, we still got to pay for our actions. Okay, and there's a scripture that says that, and let me hit it more. Shall we continue in sin? God forbid. Stop sinning. Stop breaking the commandments. Follow them. Right, and I want to hit that real quick. But there's a scripture that says, right, if you sin willfully, Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 26, it says, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries. Right, so it tells you clearly, okay, if you sin willfully, after you know you're not supposed to, after you know the truth, hey, there is no more sacrifice. Okay, the Lord is not covering that. You got to pay that with your own tab. Okay, and these churches out here are completely telling our people to do that. To sin and sin, right? Commit iniquity, which iniquity means sin upon sin. They're telling them to live a life of style of sin and to keep on doing it. Right, go and go and go. And these church pastors are such hypocrites that, hey, they won't follow the laws going into stop eating pork and shrimp and crab, but they'll keep the law going into how you have to give a 10th part of your money, right, to the priest. Right, they keep that law. It's called the diezmo, right, if I remember correctly, diezmo or diezmo. Okay, they still hold that. They follow that law, but not the other ones, right? Because they're all about making money. Okay, the scriptures call them the tabernacle of robbers. So I'll leave it at that. What does it mean to love God? Loving God means keeping the commandments. So hopefully this is edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, and double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to your elect. Shalom.